Well, the Islamic State have just announced that they're going to make their own coinage, and they've put out announcements about what these coins are going to look like. They're going to stick to the gold standard, and each coin, a gold coin, is going to be actually gold. So those gold coins, in the range of coins that they're thinking of producing, will be worth about $650. So then, why am I excited about this? Why I'm excited is because it seems to me that this is accurately fulfilling Bible prophecy about the mark of the beast. Now, I gave a presentation about this a couple of months ago, and we looked there in Revelation 13, where we read that in the last days there's going to be this entity, the beast, who dominates the land, or the earth. Now, I talked about this, about how we define the earth, or the land, and I said that biblically, in the Old Testament, there's two options. There's either the whole planet, or specifically the land, or the earth, the land promised to Abraham, from the river Euphrates to the river of Egypt. And I suggested that the focus of Bible prophecy is actually on that particular area of the land promised to Abraham. And so this beast system is going to take over that land, that territory. And what's so exciting, although very worrying from the short-term perspective, but what's so exciting is that the Islamic State organization appears to be an entity that could fulfill those prophetic requirements. And then once that system is established, the Lord Jesus is going to come back and destroy it. And it's therefore a sign of the second coming of Jesus. Now, in Revelation 13, we read that this entity has got a mark, or a seal. And that seal, I suggested in my presentation a couple of months ago, is the seal of Muhammad. And it's to be placed on the hands and on the foreheads. When you look at the photographs of Islamic State fighters, you will see that they have this sort of rough hand-drawn circle on their battle gear, on their headgear, and a lot of them are wearing rings that have got this same sort of stamp or seal on it. And that is the seal of Muhammad. And that's why it's a roughly drawn circle, to imitate that seal. And then written on it, there is the core of the Islamic faith, that there is one God and Muhammad is his messenger. And I suggested that that seal of Muhammad, which is the identity, as it were, of the Islamic State, that it is that which is in fact, or could be, the mark of the beast. And unless you accept that sort of corporate identity, as it were, then you shall be killed, or you shall be unable to trade. And what I said a couple of months ago was that I could envisage the Islamic State introducing coinage, or some form of currency that was stamped with this mark of the beast, with this insignia. So you can understand why, having sort of gone public and said that and written that and put it up on YouTube a couple of months ago, well, I was pretty excited when I suddenly see these coins have been suggested, and you can get pictures of them off the internet. And then I sent them off to an Arabic-speaking friend of mine just to check it out. Like, what's written on the coins? And he wrote back to me, yeah, sure, it's written. There is one God, and Muhammad is his messenger. So then, this sort of corporate identity, which the Islamic State has continued onto these coins. Now, the Quran itself says that the true believers will have this mark in their forehead. And, of course, the Bible, Revelation, sort of goes along with that by saying that there's two groups of people. The people who've got the mark of the Lamb and the number of his name, as it were, in their foreheads, and those who have the mark of the beast and his number in their foreheads. And that mark is the number of a man. And that man, I think, is pretty clearly Muhammad, because this is the huge emphasis of Islam, or Mohammedanism as it was earlier called. And in fact, if you look at my book Islamic State, or you go to islamicstate.info, chapter 5, I type out there the word Muhammad in Greek, and if you add those letters up, you will find they come to 666 by gematria, that is whereby each letter has a numerical value. So I think there is definitely this connection between the seal of Muhammad, which is so much part of their calling cards, part of their corporate insignia, and the mark of the beast. My point is that their idea is that in their caliphate, in their kingdom, as it were, which according to them is to be in the very area of the land promised to Abraham, which is the focus of Bible prophecy in the book of Revelation, that in that area, in that territory, no one, according to them, is going to be able to buy or sell without using their coinage. And their coinage, their coins, have got this mark of the beast, this seal of Muhammad, on them. Now, there's another few significant things that I found looking at those coins. And one of them is that you would have expected that coins of an Islamic state would have some reference to Mecca and the mosque there, but there isn't. What there is a picture, an inscription, as it were, a line drawing inscription of the Al-Aqsa Mosque in Jerusalem. And that's in keeping with the theology of the Islamic State, which is increasingly to de-emphasize Mecca. I commented about this in another presentation, and to emphasize instead the significance of Jerusalem. You can understand why that is, because Mecca's in Saudi Arabia, and the Saudis at this moment are part of the coalition that is bombing the Islamic State. So they're not going to pop off to Saudi Arabia, to Mecca, to do their pilgrimage. Their focus is upon Jerusalem, and they have actually put up billboards. Their fighters of the Islamic State have put up billboards saying, Al-Quds next, Jerusalem in Arabic, Jerusalem next. Their focus is very much on Jerusalem. They want Jerusalem as the capital of their caliphate, or their kingdom. And there's another coin in this set of coinage that they're proposing to issue, which has got a map of the whole world. They believe that the whole planet should be under Islamic domination. And there's another one that's got a sword on it, another coin that's got a sword on it, and it is the symbol of jihad, of holy war. Joel 3, in the last days, sanctify or make holy war, and that is what these guys are quite clearly doing. So then, the focus upon Jerusalem, which I've mentioned a number of times in these presentations about the Islamic State as something that we should be looking for, because the Bible prophecies about the last days are, as I've said, particularly about the land promised to Abraham, but they are even more specifically about Jerusalem. The whole of the Lord Jesus' Olivet prophecy, Matthew 24, Luke 21, Mark 13, is all about Jerusalem. Actually, there he is standing on the Temple Mount, and he says to the disciples, guys, all this is going to be thrown down. And they're like, well, when? What are the signs that this is going to happen? So actually, the set of signs that the Lord gives as being the basis for his second coming are based very much actually around the destiny of Jerusalem. When you come to Revelation, and you read from Revelation chapter 6, the seals, you are also reading full of allusions to the Olivet prophecy. And again, the focus, I suggest, is upon the destiny of Jerusalem. And I've said so many times in the studies on Revelation that the whole of Revelation is just full of Old Testament allusion and quotation. And if you go back to the context of a lot of those passages which are the source for the book of Revelation, you go back to those Old Testament passages, they're talking specifically not only about Israel, but specifically about Jerusalem. Now, there's something else that's very interesting in relation to these new coins that are being released by the Islamic State, and that is that at least two of those coins are definitely consciously mimicking Israeli coins. There is the Islamic State's coin with palm trees on, and an Israeli coin has likewise got those palm trees on. The Islamic State coin, another of the coins, the gold Dinar coin, has got the 7 ears of wheat. But out of those 7 ears of corn, there are 3 of them that are in particular. And if you look at the angle of those 3 central ears of corn, one is slightly to the left, one is straight, one is slightly to the right. That is right off an Israeli coin. Now what are they doing? They are saying, particularly, their message is, and they love to put, hidden messages in there, or not so hidden messages in what they do. The message quite clearly is, we are the new Israel. That's right, our focus is upon Israel, and we are going to replace their coins with ours. And that is, of course, because they believe that they are the true Israel, that they are the true children of Abraham, and Israel are the false seed, as it were, and that they are the true seed, and the old argument of the millennium. So then, this increasing emphasis of the Islamic State upon Israel, and particularly upon Jerusalem, this is so significant, and this is really a sign that the Lord Jesus is going to come soon. But I urge you not to simply be intellectually fascinated by this, but contact us. We'll send you a Bible if you don't have one, with a commentary, or we'll send you the book Bible Basics if you haven't got a Bible. We'll send you one, but if you have, we'll send you the book Bible Basics, and you can systematically study this and decide to be baptized into the Lord Jesus Christ.